Hello, fine folks, and welcome to Bogey Plays. Tonight, are we fine? I hope the sound is fine. Tonight we are doing a top 10. We said we were going to try to do these more often, to do these at least once a month. So we are going for top 10 game boards. We're going to talk about game boards from, I don't know, it's going to be probably different perspectives, not just pretty. And I'm not going to be alone. It's going to be a two player two player top 10 with Mr. Radu. Hello, Mr. Radu.
Hello and good evening, everyone.
Guten evening to you too.
You just couldn't help yourself. You said it's not just pretty, mostly pretty. I mean, no
Not
rules. You said everything goes.
yeah, that's true. I said, "Hey, D, sound is good, perfect, thank you." So I got some tea here, so I want to drink some
Right.
tea. I have to have it here with me. So this is you said mostly pretty. Mine are not necessarily mostly pretty. My top 10 is going to be, I think all of them are pretty in one way or another, not necessarily for everyone, but I do have a few more, um, how should I put it? A few more criteria for choosing these games on my list. Not just pretty, not just the way they look.
Right. So again, uh, this was really hard for me to pick out of the entire library 10 that I would frame and put on my wall, or I do was overcritical on the way they look, right? So I did try to go outside my comfort zone, and you'll see I have a few surprises. I think I'm gonna um, surprise you with some of these titles. I was looking beyond the prettiness as well, so we'll
The
see. But it's got really hard to make a list, and again, it's going to be pretty subjective, right?
Of
It's
course, it's
not an
going to be.
objective. This is not a definitive. These are the best games boards on in this hobby.
Of course not. So I want to say hello to anyone who might join us, who are joining us tonight for this top 10. Hope you're fine. Hope you're going to enjoy our list or our banter, if it's the case. You
Ramblings.
ramblings. You are you. I think you should play with your white balance because you're a little bit too yellow, I think. Uh,
Yeah, and now you tell me I'm yellow. Okay. Well,
you
thank
can't see
you.
yourself.
Thank you.
You're a bit yellowish. So I would say let's turn on the TVs and uh, let's start with the top 10. I would say, I think, I don't know, should I let you be last or should I be last?
You can be last because I will have no surprise. You will get my top.
Ah,
My number
okay.
one is gonna be pretty easy to find.
Okay, if you say so. Okay, then uh, I'm going to let you start, and while I move things here, I'm going to let you start and let you tell which is your number 10.
All right. So my first surprise, and
If it
you will be surprised to find this artist on this list, but we have to give respect and for all that he has done for the industry and cannot be overstated. So I think we've had our back and forth with this one, and it's Clemens Franz. Okay, I was it was on the list, off the list, on the list, off the
Uh,
list, and the one I picked in is Lorenzo il Magnifico.
Lorenzo, I
Yeah,
see.
I think that he just found the right balance between mechanisms
Okay.
and theme, right? So he has a way of distilling the his style to make it so quaint, so um inviting, right? It's not over intrusive. It's not in your face. It just helps you with the ease of the game. This is not an easy game to get into, but it makes it easy to get into
Yeah.
through his graphic
Yeah.
design. He's clean and very almost mm, guiding you with it. I find it's quite transparent and all that, and the graphic design it just works for this one. Um,
I highly agree with you. Highly agree
I
with you. I think the graphic design and the cleanliness of the artwork in this game uh, helps you get into this game easier than you would normally would.
Yeah, and this is converted into an early classic. I think it's not that old, right? It's 2013 or something. Maybe I don't know. I have not looked
It
at the
is
year.
it's 2014, 2015, something like
Yeah,
that.
so I think it
In
has
board
that
game
look.
years, in board game
It,
years.
it's a grandpa already,
Yeah.
but I think it consolidated itself as one of the great Euro games. Although it's kind of aged depending on who you talk to. The theme is, same old Renaissance, same old.
I
Um,
couldn't care less. The
yeah,
gameplay is so good.
exactly, with a noble family. But I think it's a
I love it.
good product, and it
I
has
love
a
it.
great board. Clemens Franz with his Lorenzo.
Yes, it is a beautiful board. A beautiful. I wouldn't say it's. I think it's well done. It's a well done board. Um, I have another game, which is I don't know if I we'll talk in honorable mentions. I have one of his boards here, and I'll talk in honorable mentions. I shouldn't mention it right now. Let's go to my number 10, which is a game that we have played, uh, I think, a few um, a few weeks ago, a few months ago. I have to remember. The game is called Bruxelles 1893, and I am going to the original artwork. I'm going to the original board. This is a like it or hate it artwork. I do like Alexandre Roche. I think he was special in the illustrator world. And when it comes to boards, why do I like this board? Is not necessarily because it's the prettiest, but I do like how what this game was about was the fact that you need to have majorities on columns, or you need to have majorities, also columns count, also rows count, and also these points count for majorities. Everything counts, and it's almost very mathematical, if you want. And the way the artwork is done, um it, oh, he was Etienne was so young there. the way the artwork is done, it makes you forget all these mathematical things that are there. I do like the Belle Epoque too. This is the original artwork. I do like the Belle Epoque too, but the Belle Epoque is done in the spirit of this one. And also, what I like about this board is the fact that you have these. So this board, this is the main board. I would say it's composed of two parts. This is the main board, the main board where you have some workers and so on. You place workers. This is a second main board, and this is what's interesting about the board of this game, is that all of these that you see here, these are worker placement spots that you bid on, money that you put money on, because you want to win some majorities with the money that you paid there. But all of these are also actions that you take in the game, and from all these five, it's composed of six smaller boards. This board with cards, and all of these five boards with actions. And every time you play, you're gonna get five different arrays of or compositions of actions, and you're going to pick and choose. It's going to be a card here that will tell you you can pick and choose a certain point on these axes, on these x y axis, that you can place this triangle which will point to the actions that you'll be able to do on your turn. I think it's a very smart done board. It adds to the pleasure of playing the game, and I think it's special in this way. And this is why it entered my top 10 boards of all time, not only for the artwork.
Yeah, also for its cleverness.
Yep.
Okay, I do agree. And the second one was an improvement in its aesthetics, although the ground or the foundation was laid with the first edition. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, let's go to number 9. What is your number 9?
My number 9. So the first gimmick is on. I picked this one because of a toy factor that just elevates the entire experience or the table presence. This is the third installment in the trilogy of the West Kingdom, and it's Viscounts of the West Kingdom.
Oh, I see.
I enjoyed that modular board that you can, put in a certain order, and almost like it's not the same, but at least it's not a square, rectangle, or circle, and you play on it. So you have that variability. Plus, the castle that you place in the middle of the board helps to take you to that world visually faster than
I don't know what to say, but I do like that toy factor of that castle. It's really cool.
So
the castle play in the middle for this game is absolutely great.
Yeah, so it does help everything around it.
Yeah.
It's not just the board. It's the component as well. So it's almost like a cheat, but everything helps.
No. I highly agree with you on this one. Highly agree with you.
Yes.
Not on my list, but I as the waits for a fight. But on this one I don't, because the main reason why I really like this game is that main castle, which I think is one of Garphield's games main inventions, if you want. That's something new that they came with. The way you move the workers and you go up.
I really wish I knew more about how this went into development and production. Who had the idea? Because this is a spark of genius. It's a spark of something. Ooh, we need something in the middle of the board. Who comes up with these ideas? I'm very impressed with what they came up with. And
I
yeah,
think it was there were three concentric. I hope it's correct. Three concentric circles. I don't know if so. Three circles within each other. I think this is the way they did the prototype, and then they thought, why don't we do it 3D?
yeah,
And then they move up in the castle, and the more you move, the more points you're gonna get because you go up into the center of the castle and so on and so forth. Yep.
yeah.
So I highly agree with your number 9. It's a pretty cool gimmick, and the artwork is the Micho's artwork, which is the board itself. I don't think is that special.
I think
In
it has a very unusual shape.
Yeah,
It's not really standard. Let's call it that.
when I was talking more about the artwork itself,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, I agree with you. It is, and I think it is the most different Garfield game that is
Yeah.
out there when it comes to boards on main boards.
Well,
And all of these are modular, and you yep, I agree. I agree.
thank you. I thought I would be disqualified because of that reason. I did have a spare,
Oh, you had
but
another one.
it would have been
Okay, okay, okay.
architects for sure.
Let's go to my number one. My
Yes.
number one is
No, it's not number one. It's 8.
number one. Sorry, number 9.
It's not over yet.
So no fights this time. D agrees with both of
Oh,
us.
it's
So
coming.
no
It's
fights.
coming.
It probably will. So my number 9 is a game where you do not have a main board, but you build the main board, and this is a reason you build the main board while you play the game. You start small and then you grow. And the reason why I have chosen this game, and this game is called Hamlet, the village building game.
Really?
Um, One thing, I really like the game. What did this do? Why am I so small in here? What happened? So what I like about I like this game. I think it's a darn good game. It has a lot of inspiration. We've talked about it, but I do like the fact that when you place tiles in this game and you create the board, you don't always, as you will see here, you will. Let's go bigger. This one is placed on half the tile. It's not placed. Usually, when you create a board and that board grows from hexes, for example, you have to. Everything is you don't arrange half the tile to a half of a tile. So this one is arranged half of this tile is arranged with half of this tile. This is what's special about building the board of this game, and creating this. You also create spaces, which of course they have added an expansion with lakes, so you can create lakes that you can do certain things on those lakes. And there are restrictions on how you build all of that, but the way you create the board is with all of these restrictions. You cannot, if it's a mountain and a forest, usually you cannot pass through these tiles. So you'll have things that will make you think the way you create the board in a way that you create opportunities for yourself or other players. I think it's a smart way. Here, as you can see, this is and it has different shapes. This is also, it doesn't have, like most games have hexes or have what are patrat, a
Where?
square, exactly, a square form, and these that here you have different forms. So look, this one looks different than this one, and I think that's why it's an interesting way, and it's a different way. That it creates the shape of a board.
Mm.
I like the way it looks, and also I really like the way this game plays. I think it's a very good game that is, in my opinion, a bit underrated.
Well, if we are allowed opinions, I think you should be disqualified. This is not a board per se.
Yes, you
You build
look,
it,
you
and
have created a board here.
in the end, yes,
Yes,
but
yes,
it
this is
does
a
not
board.
count as the standard. So
Yes, the board comes in pieces in the box, and then you recreated when you create a world, and you create a board in your own. The world creates in your own, um,
okay,
while you're playing.
yeah, let's agree to disagree.
So, my friend, if you have a horse's vision, have something on your face, and you cannot open your mind to the pleasure
Yeah,
of creating your own world, it is not my fault. But
yeah,
you,
I'm very square. I know.
yeah, that's good. um, so, yeah, my number 9 was Wiośka. Gra o budowaniu uszadi, I think, or something. Hamlet.
What?
The bit I tried to read in Polish, I think.
Wow.
Uh,
All
I don't
right.
know. I think
It's your choice.
my Polish was great. So let's go to number 8. Your number 8 is
I hope it's number 8. I did not number these. I hope I don't mess this up. Now this is your
you're making it up while you go
well, no.
a
This
little
is
bit. Okay.
like a guilty pleasure. Let's call it that. And it's one that really visually teleports you into a certain time period, right? So I'm talking about Gloria Game of Nights. It's not shouting to you any style, or it's pretty much a very hyper realistic view of a medieval castle and its environment. But it's everything you do, and it's related to that medieval life. So I think this is
We have this game. We have to play it. They did not come up with the expansion. We wanted to play it for the expansion.
yeah, we don't have that information yet, but I think
Hopefully, we will.
hopefully we
We
will.
owe them a playthrough, and we will be doing it when they.
I mean, this has been on the back seat for so long. I was really impressed the first time I saw it, and I played it as a preview.
But
Or
this one looks like a rendered. I don't have it in front of me. It looks like
it
a
looks
rendered on
like
computer. I have to here. I
yeah.
have to say, I disagree.
I know you do. I know you do. But it's more about the feeling it gives me, and the engagement I have while seeing visually what's it's not that I invent the story. It's kind of spoon fed to me, right? So I
would.
it's not pretty,
It's.
but it helps with the theme, I
I
think.
don't. I don't want to call it garbage, but
What?
for this list, but I'm sorry, this is not pretty. Is not.
Okay.
It looks
Well,
barely
it's
functional.
I said it's well, this is the prototype version, so
Yeah, it looks like that. A
you're
prototype
undermining
version.
the final production. So you will see when we're gonna play someday.
Okay.
We'll have a better idea.
Okay.
That's my name, number 8. Okay.
Can people hear me when I speak now? Oh, yeah, they can hear me. Okay. Maybe this says maybe it's in the details. The devil is in the details. Oh no, I hate this. Okay, there's something
Yeah,
that's happening. Okay.
top 10
Uh,
medieval games.
my number 8 is a game that's a board that it's a game that's not popular, that's not overly talked about. The game is called The Sands of Time. I'm probably the only one who did a playthrough for this game. I'm probably the only one who talks about this game. I really like this game, and this is the board. I think it's so simple looking, and what I think it does manage to put that world in front of me. Why do I like this board?
How
And
is
out of
this better? It's just
because when you have it in front of you,
there's patches of color and
yeah, but it's
components on top. I mean,
look
I
how
really
how beautiful the
no,
colors are.
no,
The
I
beautiful
disagree.
blues. Look at the beautiful blues having and in front of you. Look at it's so it creates what I like about it is the fact that it creates with two colors. It has practically two colors. The third one is a bit of beige, yellow, blue, and the way he uses yellow, the way he uses blue, the blue gets darker, the yellow. So it creates also tension with very little color, and I think this game suffered from a lack of really good components to really make shine the board itself.
Okay.
And the game itself, because the game itself, I find it really good. This is a civilization game where you have to grow and grow and grow, and even conflict is pretty costly if you want to make it. You're going to take it from time to time, but it's not a game about conflict. It's a game about expanding your civilization. And the components do not help because it has cubes and anyways, I have a pimped version because I love this game, and I also did a playthrough on the channel. But I do like the board. And why do I like the board? This is the way that Harald Lieschke usually works. Is he paints everything, and then whatever he painted, so he paints with brushes, and then he imports it into digital. And you can see that the board creates a certain feeling when you have it in front of you. There's a difference between painting and importing and painting on digital. There is a difference. And you can feel that when you have that huge board in front of you. I really like this board. I really like this game, and you can see more on the review that I did and the playthrough that we did on the channel to play.
I can only see why people are not talking about it.
No, people are not talking about it because it's a Spielworxx game and it only had a very small release, and it didn't have great it didn't have great pieces, and it did not have great it didn't have a fighting system, very complicated, or it doesn't have a fight. It's not a fighting game. People usually this is what they want in a civilization game most of the time.
Okay.
So
all right, let's move to better boards, shall we?
Yeah, sure. Glory of Game of Night. Okay, number 7.
A two-color board with cubes on top. Thank you very much. I will play something else.
Making something with two colors is a true artist's thing.
Yeah,
with a few colors.
I can do 50 of these in
no,
2
you
hours.
Can't.
All right.
Yes.
Let's go to my second game that has a unique gimmick that has not been replicated. I have not seen this done, because I think the engineering behind it, and it's quite simple, and 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 so out and breaks the mold in so many ways. This is Tolkien.
Oh,
I
this
I
is the
I
toy factor.
another toy factor, but it's beyond board games and boards, right?
I highly agree with
It
you.
has a mechanic to it, right? It moves those are five gears, right? And they interconnect.
I think there's
And
six.
mm,
With the main one, there's six. So
okay,
five smaller gears and six with the. Yeah, that's right.
you have to agree how satisfying seeing it move
Yeah, I
in
agree.
front of you. It
Yeah,
feels unreal, right? So this is a unique
I don't.
concept.
I
What?
don't understand why CG did not come with a second edition of this one. I can't understand why. And as let's say that Birdie told me at some point that there might be a new edition.
Spoilers.
There might be a new edition at some point. It should be a new edition at some point.
I
But
mean, it's another stroke of genius from
but
the designer's
so
perspective, right? Of
Daniele
designing.
Tascini said he recognized, man, this is something that happens once in a lifetime.
Yeah,
He said that this is something that you do once. It's a genius. It's a something that comes out. It's something that you do once in a lifetime when it comes to a thing that you do to design in this case. So it is.
yeah. I feel if you want to impress your non-gamer friends to say, yeah, you think paper money is board games. Pop this bad boy on the table and show them what's what, right? So I
Yeah,
think this, and it's hard to improve on a masterpiece. This is why it's
yeah.
taken this long. So,
I don't know. I think this needs a new coat of paint.
ooh, that's depending if they do a botch job. So I would prefer the original to whatever they.
I don't think they will do a patch up because usually CG do not mess up their artworks. Think SETI, think
Right.
Kutnahora, think they did not mess up artwork wise. So
Well,
I don't think they will
there was
mess that
always a
up. The
first.
game itself is there. As far as I know, it has been balanced. Everything is balanced now because there was some strategy that was a bit more overpowered than others, and you could
Mm,
take a certain strategy which with the skulls, I think.
mm.
And I think it has been balanced. So why is this not coming out as a second edition with new artwork? And I mean, this game needs to be out there again. I can't say that I'm the biggest fan of this game, but I highly um,
Oh, great point from Vreja. Uh,
from Bogdan.
they
Yeah,
the gears themselves have a relief to it, so they are almost like they have
they
mm,
they're there to be painted.
yes.
They're
So
there
I've
to be
I've seen
painted.
images of
Hello,
painted
Bogdan.
gears, and they look amazing. And the way they come in the box with that beige look kind of takes away from what it could be.
Yes, and
But the painted one looks
but I do
absolutely
think
delightful.
that also the contract tiles, the board itself can be brought to 2025.
Yes, but this is an older title from for when it came out, it
It
was
was mind blowing.
instant hit.
Yeah, yeah, mind blowing. It was at that moment.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm back on track or what?
yeah. This one, I really wanted to put it on. It just didn't make the. I will talk about honorable mentions. So this was Tolkien, right? Your number 7. My number 7 is a game that we both love, um, and it's a game that it's 20, almost 20 years old.
Really? It's been that long? Wow, it
Yes.
shows our age, doesn't it?
It is a game that we have played on stream and we will play some more. The game is. Sorry. Now I realized that I stayed there. Yeah. The game is Turn and Taxis. Um, I. This is a classical example of how you can create color without really using color. You can create mood without really using color.
And
Um,
make it look good,
and
right?
make it,
And
yes.
age properly, and age well.
I
Yeah.
think that you could bring this game today if you would want to, and it will. With this artwork, you'd have no issues.
Yeah.
I don't know if this will ever happen,
Hmm.
but I really like this game, and for that reason mainly, and the way the game board looks after at the end of the game, I think is very well thought out.
Right.
I I like I love Menzel. I love what Menzel does, and I think this is one of his best um,
Yes.
designs.
I do agree that it has a a very it's not ostentatious. It's not vibrant. So it has a classical, um, almost timeless look to it.
It
So
has, I think, if you would have added too much color, it would have taken out the all the details that he puts on the board, because there is a lot of
hmm,
detail on the board, and you need to make the game playable. You need to
yes.
be able to, and then put all the colors of the houses and all of that. I
And
think
believe
he,
it or not, all those houses do add noise at the end.
yes, yes, it adds color. It adds, what do you say, noise, and I do think that adding too much color
Yeah.
might not have been great. So this is a classic example of how you can make a, if you want a classic example of a you can make a board that you don't in without adding colors.
Yeah.
You can create that, and you can still create mood, you can still create atmosphere, and you can still have a beautiful board in front of you.
Yeah. Being beautiful without even trying.
It's yes. I don't
Yeah,
think he. I think
natural
he knew
beauty.
what he did. I really think
Yeah,
he knew what he did.
you don't come to this final version without you being specific about it. I assure you.
So,
Um,
what's your number 6?
Number 6, another guilty pleasure that we have played on this channel. We urge you to, go and at least hear our thoughts on these, or watch the playthroughs. It's up to you. Uh, it's we had our back and forth with this one as well, and this is Stroganoff. This was I didn't even blink when I saw this. This was an instant bite for me.
I
The
can tell you that this one almost made my list. If I did not hate some things about it,
yeah, I can. Everyone
this one,
has faults, and we all human, right? So
yes,
error are going to happen. But in spite of all that, I still enjoy the what I got, right? So I
yeah,
can look beyond all these issues and see what it wants what the game wants to be. And a very self-explanatory all that you need, all the rule book is on the board. It's very easy to refresh the rules just by looking at step by step,
It
and
might look busy the first time you see it. It might look a bit too much, all the things that are there. But once you go once through the rules and you play it once, then everything boom lights up. Sorry.
well, I do disagree. It doesn't look busy. It's just a lot of artwork. Everything you see is flavor.
Graphic design up there, when you see it, man, there's a lot of things that so many
Yeah, but
icons, so
it
many.
does not interfere with your gameplay. It's there to
Once you play
remind
it,
you.
the first time you put it
Mm,
in front of you, because I went through it and I said, man, this might be a bit
okay.
overwhelming.
Yeah. This is my number 6 board. You're again derailing what I'm trying to achieve here. So
I love the board.
the
I love the artwork on the board. I think, and I do like what I think is very specific for this board. I don't know if you are ready to tell it. Is the way the territories come up.
yeah, that's a bit random, I would say, because some of them are rainy, some of them are snowy, and summer with snow on close proximity creates a rhythm that's disjointed in a way, but that's just how the tiles come out. It's there again for flavor, in just to show you a piece of landscape. Eye candy, if you want. It does it help with a theme if you can make it? Yeah, you can see it there. You don't necessarily think of green valleys when you think about Siberia necessarily, but um, it is gorgeous, and it's good to it's
I think
very
you have the Altais right around there. I think, and I these look a bit, or these mountains look a bit close to the way the Altais look.
yeah. uh,
Um,
we all think of white landscapes when we think about Siberia. Don't don't kid, But yeah, it's kind of showing you a broader, more higher dynamic of landscapes, not
this is
just that
I think this game is
snowy.
about Russia more or less, not only about Siberia. No, so
Yeah,
uh,
it has some theme on it, but
Russia is a big country. They have slow. Russia was mainly in Europe until the, I don't know, 1600s, and then they started going more and more deeper into Asia and starting conquering, because this is what Russia do. They try to conquer as much as they can. Um,
yeah,
this is their history.
even
Uh,
even in today's contemporary news, we still talk about conquering.
about Russia's imperialism. But this is
Yeah,
what, yeah, what, and in a way, this is the what you do. You go further and further, and you hunt animals, and you conquer territories, and
yeah,
it does help a bit. It does, and the artwork, the way these are drawn, and everything is drawn. It in front of you, it does tell you a very beautiful story. I do think it has a lot of production issues, though, and the way they have placed these X's, which they're outposts. What
well,
okay, and it has a bit of, and that's why it is not a, like I said, a whole production, well done production, well thought out
everyone
production.
just goes on, talking about the production issues, but I'm perfectly fine with the copy I have.
I am
Um,
not.
yeah, well,
I am
you
not.
know, nothing's perfect in this world, so
Nothing. But
this
I
is
what Maciej Yannick did when it comes to the illustration, I think is
yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
yeah.
If you can, yeah, I think you can say that. Okay, my
Thank
number
you.
6 is a game that changed a bit the um, the landscape when it, for heavy games when it came out. I think it was a really big. Um, it made a really big splash in that in it's oh man, it's almost 10 years old. The game is called The Gallerist. Um,
Oh, you had to include Lacerda on here, right? And
you
too.
know, tool. Why did I chose this is mainly because I think it manages to symbolize very well that the board does a very good job to talk about the business. This is cold. It's so cold. It's about the business of the art. It's not about art. People think it's about, no, it's not about art. It's about the business.
It's
And
about the
what
walls, not about what you put on your wall.
exactly. It's how you make money. And
Yeah.
I think this manages to do it very well. And I think this is the game that put Ian O'Toole on the map. And I think it has a special place. This board has a special place in board gaming because it managed to oh, you can create heavier games with a very clean look. You can create heavy board a board for a heavy game with a very clean look, and still manage to talk about not just do an Excel in front of also manage to talk about a bit about the theme of the game. Do not take it out. Do not take out the theme of the game. Just do it mathematically.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's my favorite board. I think my favorite board is still the one for Weather Machine, even with those small graphic mistakes of adding those gears there. But I had to recognize this one for what it was back then. And I think he manages to do this very well, and I think he influenced other um, illustrators and graphic designers into how can you in a way in this way how you can create boards for heavy games very clean, and you help players to get into a game. You don't put them oh, Piedic. Yeah, you don't create troubles for them when they try to play a game.
And this is really the signature of Ian O'Toole. He created his career on being this highly accurate and very clean, like you
Just
said.
look at the prototype. I think this was created by Vital Lacerda. Look at the prototype. It could have looked like that with cuter lines, and it could have looked like that.
Yeah.
But it looks like this in the end. And it's functional and manages to set out what it sets out to do. And this is why this hospital look, this is the way I call it, septic look, hospital look, which is very clean and very it works for him very well.
Yeah. Makes you play with gloves so you don't damage your components. Yeah.
Okay, let's go
good one
to number 5.
Where's number 5? Yeah, this is number 5.
Are you making them now? Are you making them up while we go?
No, I didn't. I've placed it as a list, but they're not numbered, so I have to go by the last one was that, and now this one is this.
Okay.
And
So you're making it up. Okay.
no, this was
On your list, you change your mind. This
no.
might have been 4, but now I think I'm gonna make it a 5.
Is that obvious? I'm not doing that. I'm
Okay.
not
So what's
that
your?
smart. No, I feel that this made a big splash and then just the water went still after that. Um, I don't know where I stand now, or will this change? Probably it will, but this is Praga Kaputredni,
Uh,
right?
I think it's the fact that the game itself.
it wanted to be a next generation heavy Euro, and it just didn't surpass its expectation. What I do enjoy is that they try to mix um
I like this board.
the
Yeah,
the
I'm with
um
you on this
the
one. Yeah.
aesthetics of the medieval age,
Yeah.
but with a modern twist. So there's trying to combine best of both worlds in a way and make it into a product or a board game, right? So it first it has to be functional, and artwork needs to elevate the game and to help it, right? So it's kind of it's a really tight balance that you have to walk in theme and mechanisms. So I enjoyed the gear that you have to the action
The action
selection of it.
selection. Yeah.
So it's another almost another gimmick in a way,
Yeah,
but
it is. It is, but it works well
it
for
works.
the
It
game.
works.
Yeah, it was for the. You like
Yeah,
gears apparently.
yeah,
Top 10
apparently.
gear list.
No,
Gear on
and
boards list.
they've tried to be clever, I think, but we were having that bridge in 3D, but it's cardboard. I don't think it was necessary. And the steps that you
I like
see
it.
in on
The, it's
I
a
know,
mini game. Here's a mini game. What I
but
what
it
yeah.
works without it because you can remove it. It works without the 3D cardboard on the corner
Yeah, but
there.
it's more fun with it.
It's table presence.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it lacks that engagement, right? It didn't like in Tolkien, right? It created a cult following. Like in Viscounts again, it's a plastic 3D that just works. And this one, it's take it or leave it.
This one has a I don't know if it's an issue. It has a bit of an issue with the game itself, which is you kind of do the same thing every game, so it ends up being stale. While I have enjoyed playing once or twice, then it became I'm kind of playing the same game and I'm
Yeah,
kind of doing the same thing. I
that's what
want
I'm
something
saying. Yeah.
different.
This
So
is gameplay. We're talking about boards and how they
I'm okay
look.
with
I
you
think
with boards.
boards, and
Yeah.
it's a huge, as I remember, it's a huge board, right? Um,
Yes.
you do kind of get swept into there's so many little details there that if you want, you could get lost and
And the way you build a board, because I think you place certain buildings on the board and you create and you
yeah,
build
yeah,
Prague
yeah, exactly.
in the 15th 16th century, 14th 15th, something over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, but in the end, yeah, I liked having it in front of me, but the game itself was kind of boring after a few plays.
Yeah, I
Also,
feel
the
like
components, those eggs were not really some ugly
yeah.
eggs.
Well, if I would play it
Expensive
more,
eggs, I've heard
it
in
would
America.
surely, kind of I would see for what it is, but I cannot help but look at that board somehow.
Yeah,
It's
I
calming
agree
and
with you.
it's
It's
attractive.
beautiful. but in the end, is form following function. So
Yes, 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 true that. But
my
I would
number,
have this on my wall for sure.
my number, my number five is a game that I don't know if you have played. Um, this is a Days of Wonder title, which is 19 years old, almost 20 years old. And
Hmm.
I think it's the first game that used the box as a board. You help
Ooh,
create the board with the box. Do you know the game?
no.
The game is called Cleopatra and the Society of Architects. I do talk about and I have the original Days of Wonder. I did not get rid of it when the reprint, the huge reprint came out. I don't think it needed that deluxe version for what this
Yeah.
game was. This is mainly a a very simple game that didn't need. So,
They
as you
just
can
added
see,
more plastic than they toys over.
yeah, it adds a bit of polyominoes.
Mm.
You build certain structures, and it's a very interesting system that you build. You create. You have two decks of cards. One is face down. The other one is face up. At some point, you mix them. If I remember, I haven't played this game in a while. And when you draw cards, you will some cards you'll be able to see, some cards you won't be able to see when you draw them, and these cards will use as materials to build, and you have to build all these. And this is the box, the and then you build around it, as you can see here.
Yeah.
uh oh, it's perfect. uh the game itself is not what's cool about it is, I think, the one who has the most corruption gets thrown to the alligators at the end of the game. I probably is the last player, so it doesn't really matter. So,
Yeah.
but it's still kind of fun. The game is not complicated, but when I was thinking about this list, I was thinking Days of Wonder. Days of Wonder has a lot of pretty boards and it has a lot of pretty games, and it was the standard in the industry in the 2010s up until when the cool Kickstarter started to come out. So
Mm.
yeah, this is a very cool game that unfortunately got a very big new edition, and it needed one.
Yeah. Although, where is the board? Why is this relevant for this
Because
top 10?
so this is the box is the board.
The box. Also, it's okay. So they've been inventive. What or
Yes,
okay.
yes. You flip the board, the back of the box where you place all your things. You flip it, you put it on the table, and then you put another thing on it, and then you put things around it, as you can see here. You build pillars around the box,
Okay.
as you can see here. You look, as you can see here, and I think it's really cool. And it was the game. It's pretty simple and pretty straightforward. It's a Bruno Catala design with Ludovic Montblanc. Montblanc.
Probably.
Let's not Ludovic Montblanc. Wait. And yeah, if you can find and play this game, I think it's really cool. Um,
Okay. So I think it would still catch some eye with that table presence.
yeah, imagine this is almost a 20 years old. Look at it. It's almost a 20 years old production.
Yeah.
I think these days you might not get for a decent price. You might not get a production like this. Okay,
Okay. All right. So
let's go to
it's
number
a
four. Right?
perfect segue into my number four, and
Wait a
I
second. You say number four? Okay, say it.
yeah, it's four. So because you mentioned pillars, It's it's
Yeah.
Pillars of the Earth. I mean, we have talked about this game, and we,
uh,
as you know, I'm a huge Michael Menzel fan, and this was another great introduction um,
This
to
is
board
also
games.
this is also 2006, also 19-year-old. This is what's so.
So, because you have these wooden pieces that you build at the end of the game. Just it's still repetitive. After each game, you do the same old building, but it's so much. The part of the fun comes playing on that board. It's I think it created a standard, wood, stand, stone, um, showing on the board what that resource represents, showing, the part of the castle. So this is um, unapologetically pretty. This is not your turn and taxes, even if it's
Yeah,
the same illustrator. This is
this is
showing
here.
off.
Yeah,
This is
there.
showing off,
I
right?
this is what I can do, and I
Yeah,
can do
I mean,
pretty, and I
man,
can do a whole world in front of you. I mean, if you this looks like an aerial shot
yeah.
of a it's
And again, this will age phenomenally. This will stay like this, and it cannot be improved, no matter what you do. You can only corrupt this design from this point, and either you create an expansion or you just can't touch this design. Changing the artwork, it would be blasphemy. And
yeah. What I don't like, what it did is the writing on the board. I think it takes away from the beauty of it. Um, you did not need. You could have create a player aid that and you add from 1 to 10 or 12. I don't know what's all
yeah,
and you tell them
it's not that invasive.
it is.
I don't
It is.
agree
I
that
don't agree. I don't like
the
it. I do not
artwork
like it.
shines through, even though there's text
Yeah,
on
that's
it.
because you love Menzel, but for you it will shine even through a pile of dog
Yeah,
barks.
yeah.
No, I think it's intrusive. I think it does stand in your way. It could have been done without,
Right.
but I
So
do agree with you. It is one of the most beautiful boards out there. You can.
I
I
think it came out in a time where having iconography instead of actual text was not that fixed, right? So that after that there came a period of everything needs to be explained through iconography. You could have done this here as well. You just show a gray cube, show a brown cube, and you would need text to show it. It would be self-explanatory. But I think it was not there yet. So
I think it could have been done, and I would like for a new edition for this game.
no, don't say that.
No, a new edition with a bigger
I'm
board,
afraid they will ruin it.
a bigger board, not necessarily bigger cards, bigger
No,
board than the expansion, please. I want that expansion, which I cannot get,
I
which you have.
hardly am against what you just said. A bigger board does not mean a better game. Be careful, because you can play this game on a coffee table. This is
I don't want to
so
play this game on a coffee
compact.
table. I want to have it bigger. I want to have it better. I want to have it. I want to have
Oh
it
yeah.
bigger. I can't
You,
imitate Donald Trump.
you want to go
Bigger.
to the US? No, 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 no,
I
no,
can't.
no,
I,
no.
I
I
want it.
think
I want it bigger. I
they've
think this is a poster on a wall, and the bigger the board you have in front of you, the better the world, the better the details, the better everything for it. You have it. You have a small board. The board is small.
hmm, but that kind of was the trend when it came out. There were no big boards, or I don't remember it being a trend to have huge join tables to play a board game. Now, yeah, but
Yeah,
back
that was a
then,
trend. Yeah, yeah.
board games were more dedicated towards a broader audience, and today we can't be. Well, it is a totally different discussion of why small is better. Less is more.
No, no, no. Bigger
You
is
know that
better.
saying? Oh, come on. There's no way of agreeing with you
D,
on
are
this
you
one.
with us? B is bigger better?
3-player doesn't work. Anyway,
Eh,
Pillars
what do you
of
mean?
the
This
Earth
game works three
is
player very
is
well.
uh
It works
is an
two with the variant very well.
okay. Pillars, a great game. Everyone should own this in their collection. At least have played this game once to. I honestly
I hate I don't have
would.
that expansion.
I have that expression.
I hate you.
I sleep so good at night. It's
Yeah, I'm not
amazing.
gonna pay 150 euros for an expansion because I'm not an idiot. But
Anyway, yeah, this is a game for everyone. I highly recommend it, and the Orange Man as well. Even though he wants a wall-sized wallpaper of
no,
it.
you can find it for 50 euros, which 50 euros is not that bad. But for 100 in Spanish and in
Doesn't matter.
German, yeah,
Doesn't
it's
matter.
deeper.
You just download the rules, and it just adds 2 more players. It's fine. It's fine. It's not
Yeah,
a
but it gives.
must-have.
It's not a
It's not a
must-have. That's
must-have.
true. But I would love a bigger board. So my number 4. This is the first overlap that we have.
Ooh.
But it's not in the game. It's because it does have a bigger board. Because the bigger board is better. Because the bigger board tells a better story. Because it allows you to do more. Because it is more beautiful. And because it has two, not one, but two illustrations in one board.
What? I'm intrigued. I'm lost.
I said it's a crossover. It's a crossover with you on the
Yeah,
Illustrator.
but I don't want to guess.
Guess it. A Castle for All Seasons.
No. This. Okay. I'm really surprised you picked that one.
It has the.
So you picked the Castle for All Seasons instead of Pillars.
Instead of Pillars, yes.
Wow. I really want to know your explanation.
And I have another one before Pillars. A Column of Fire.
No, you're just making fun of me right now.
Also,
Nobody's talking about that game.
Nobody talks about that game, but the board is beautiful on that game.
Board is exceptional.
But I have not played enough a Column. I don't think I've ever played it though. No, a Column I don't think I've played it. So, but this one I've played enough, and I like it. And I think this game would have been, if you'd have had minis for all of these, it would have been probably awesome to build the castle itself with minis. I think it would have been terribly awesome. But
yeah,
again,
it would have taken from the artwork, wouldn't it?
Follows. No, it would have. I think it would have done it better. It follows the same place resources on the board, and it has this 3D look. We've played this game. We've talked about this game. We've played it, I think, last year in 2023, I think, on Christmas.
Yeah,
this was a Christmas
it was
game.
A present for me.
I love this illustration of this game. And what makes it better is the fact that you have a summer on one side, and you flip it, and you have winter on the
Winter,
other. And you can play with those winter cards, which are nasty.
yeah. And this
With
shows how
oh, this is
far
the winter.
a
Oh, so this is
publisher
summer.
is
This is winter.
a
Uh,
publisher is willing to go the extra mile for a light euro, right?
it's
It's
not that light.
I think it's geared towards families
This is a
and
I would say it's a Kenner Spiel today. It looks lighter than it really is. That all the forward planning, and I think you came to that realization when we did the stream.
yeah, it if you think about it as being easier, but once you are in it, oh,
Exactly. Exactly.
things start to burn a bit. Yeah,
It
yeah.
is beautiful. It's a beautiful game, and yeah,
Count me surprised.
that why it sits on my number 4, I think.
Wow. Talk about bringing some obscure titles that I think it's kind of nobody will be talking about this game
That doesn't
going
change it
forward.
the fact that
It
it has
doesn't
a
change the
beautiful
fact, but it's not
board.
it's not on their minds to talk about these 15, 20-year-old game.
Well,
Anyway,
this is our channel.
against the tide. We are just swimming against it.
I
All
do.
right.
Let's go to top 3.
Oh yes, top 3. The these all were good. Oh, so again,
Outside Glory, a game of night. That's
allow
just
me to have one bad apple in my bag.
a
Tarek, will you?
printed board on the printer.
I said it's a guilty pleasure. Don't go back there again.
I don't want to
I will
listen to your
I will
good.
make you play that game and eat
No,
your
I have to
words.
play it because I have a copy from them, and we were waiting for the expansion to do the playthrough when they're coming out with the expansion. But probably we're going
But
to do it sooner.
we are gonna
Okay, so
we'll be talking about that. Anyway, my number 3. We have played this on this channel, and I think it was on my Essen expected games. We did a top 10 for that, and it's from Mind Clash.
oh, it starts with an S.
Yes, yes. It has a certain personality and charm to it that just bewitches you. I can't explain it. It's a very hypnotic, almost. I would. This is going way too far, but I do enjoy.
And look the way the prototype looked. It could have looked like that.
Yeah.
It could have looked like that, but when an artist really knows how to
Yeah.
do it,
Yeah.
the board goes and it's like this. Yeah,
It just has.
it's not bad.
That
Not a bad pick.
it stands out. It's and the gameplay is actually involved, and you do what the game
It's fairly
presents you, right?
yeah, but it's fairly simple for a Mind Clash game.
Yeah, probably this was why it was on my list. Yeah, I hoped it would be on my alley, and it certainly was. I enjoy the aesthetics of it. The board presents
Yeah,
interesting, and every the characters and what's going on, but I think the board helps to
it does.
guide you into this world. So this is what the board should its function. It should to take you there, and it's a vessel.
If yeah, yeah, this is a good pick. Surprising, but you surprised me here a bit.
Yeah,
This is a good pick, my
I
friend.
had to dig deep.
Yeah,
So
you
yeah,
surprised me
this
here a tiny bit.
we
Forgot
enjoyed
about this.
our playthrough, and yeah, I would love to go back to making potions.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Look at this board. Yeah, eh, yeah. Uh,
You were
s-
mesmerized for a moment. Anyway.
yes, yes. So let's go to my number three. My number three is a game that is 12 years old.
Okay, so it's an infant. No, it's
It's
not.
an. It is a game that I don't think a lot of people talks about this day. It's in my top 20 of all time. It's a game I love. It's a game that I have created a two-player variant for it because I played it so much and I have I don't think it's best at two players. It's
Oh,
best at
I
three
should
or
know this
four.
one. Mm.
Um, we have played it on stream in Romanian, and we should do a uh, a uh, s- a stream a new one in English because it's one of my favorite games. Um,
Mm.
the board is pretty simple, but it works so well and does put the world in your face. The game is called Wildcatters.
Hmm.
This is mainly a board of the world, but in this game you are a oil magnate who tries to make money, and the way it is created, the colors that are used, the way that have they that this is done by Dan von Parillon, something like that. I'm sorry, Dan. I don't remember your full name, but it does look like you're in the 1800s, late 1800s, beginning of the 1900s, oil magnate who looks for oil. I don't know. I can almost feel the oil rigs, the smell of the oil rigs. It I, it is in conjunction with the components. That is true. I think the components do help a lot, but the foundation of the board helps with the theme and setting.
Mm.
It looks like you are sitting in a tent somewhere, watching a map
Mm.
that is messed up because you have some oil on your hands and you have put that oil on the map and it has messed up. It has oil stains on it,
Yeah.
and you are deciding things. I'm going to move here. I'm going to try to bid there. I'm going to bid there for something. It feels the board manages to create that feeling. And
Mm.
if you look at it again, it's just a board of the world, and that's that. But it has here and there enough details of oil rigs, of trains, and so on that manages to create a certain atmosphere at the table. The game is great in my opinion if you like um, these types of super smartly interactive games.
Mm. Yeah. Good.
This is
Good.
highly enjoyable, and it's so the graphic design, it's well done. Everything is very well done and integrated into the board.
Yeah. It's an enriching experience. You have more money in your pocket at the end. All right. That
Okay.
was interesting. I think not many would place Wildcatters in this category, but
Yeah,
you're a risk taker, my friend.
I am. Let's
All
go
right.
to number two, right?
Yes. Number two is a safe bet. Nobody, and it's it's almost like a safe bet, I said. And the board, I think this is pretty much the definition of pretty. Uh, there was um, it's Lost Ruins of Arnak. And I've chosen this one because it's prettier than Dune Imperium for sure. It has more of the world building aspect to it than Dune
They're
has.
coming up with a new edition or something with a new boards, new things. As far as I know.
Arnak?
Yes, for Arnak, yeah.
I don't know. They have expansions for it, so I don't. We should do a big box or someday. Anyway,
I think it is the big box.
okay. So
I can try to get in touch with them. Maybe we get.
It's one of
we did so good for SETI. SETI was really, really, really good. So maybe.
Okay. So this is one of the games that impressed by its good looks. I think you can't deny that you see that perspective and that landscape alone makes you feel that you want to explore it.
Is this a Dutray?
No, it's not.
Because it looks like a Dutray style of artwork, doesn't it?
It's not. It's a combination of multiple artists. I don't know which one did what.
Okay.
But it's normal for, oh, good for them. The team created a homogeneous look throughout, so you don't see necessarily that there is a disconnection between illustrations. So it's a good product. But the board, it's a glue. It's that makes you interested. It immediately pops and makes your interest go, yeah, I want to check this one out. This is what happened to me. So this is why to this day it's not diminished its power of being overly saturated, overly dramatic, and all that. It's we're not talking about gameplay here, but it's a deck builder and a worker placement game. It's at its core. So, Lost Ruins of Arnak, I think
I think there are 3 games in that area right now. It's Endless Winter, this one, and Dune Imperium.
Yes, but which one is the beautiful child? I mean,
all of them, I think they're pretty.
You can pick this one out of a lineup.
No,
for sure.
no.
Yeah.
You can pick it. The Dune Imperium, I'm not very fond of the artwork of that one, but it's Dune. Yeah. I agree with you that I do like the artwork on this game. I'm not a big fan of the fact that you need to do certain things in order to win in the game. It's kind of the game kind of tells you, but I've heard that the last expansion finished this changes this.
And a tip, I think ignoring the tech tree will ensure your defeat.
You're gonna lose. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Lose,
you need to do that.
You need to.
And I've heard that it changes the last expansion changes that, and I have not played the last expansion, so I have no idea. I've only played the first expansion.
So beauty.
Yes.
Govern.
Beauty. My number 2. Supreme. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to my number 2. My number 2 is a game that we have played before we went into our small vacation. Um, it's a game I truly enjoy. Take one, take the other. I've heard that there will be a new game in the series. So the game is called Brass. There will be
Oh.
Brass because this one looks like a um, like Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood. What this game showed, I think, a lot of publishers, and I think this game may be a stepping stone a bit, showed that you can put detailed, beautiful, well executed artwork in games that were mostly about graphic design. And yeah, we do not need extraordinarily well done artwork. We can do it with good, decent artwork, and well done graphic design. So this is what Brass was before. It was a decent. It was a working. It worked enough, the artwork that it had, but it wasn't pretty. It wasn't taking you to the Industrial Revolution. What Roxley did back then was a huge thing, and I'm kind of looking for that, because otherwise I have to look for Birmingham. So let's go for Birmingham. So what back then when it came out, both of the games, they were a huge deal. Wow, it looks so beautiful. It had a very big impact, and I think it had it put this on the map. You can create for well distilled games an artwork that is not that distilled, that is plentiful, that had a lot of details, and yet make it playable. And I think this is where the new edition stands out. I like it. The Birmingham has two faces. Yeah, the board has two artworks: a darker one and a lighter one. The Lancashire does not have that. So also a big point for that. And as I've heard, there is going to be a new version of Brass, and probably outside the UK, which is awesome. We get some more new Brass.
Yeah, I considered this one, but to me it felt it had little artwork in order for it to be on my list. Artwork is secondary. It's just in the background, and you have
you forget
cities
about
and
the artwork.
connections and
You forget about the artwork on the cards.
there's a yeah, but we're not talking about cards and components. We're talking about the boards.
Yeah,
the board itself, it gives you that flavor that you're back into in the Industrial Revolution, and everything's cold black.
Yeah.
But it's a bit too black.
Well,
I feel like if I touch the board, I'll get my hands dirty.
Yeah, and I do love the deep blacks that it has.
If this was their intention, they nailed it.
Yes. So yeah.
And it's currently number one on the Board Game Geek.
Oh, it is currently number one?
Isn't it? I think it's Brass. Brass. I don't know which one.
Is not Ark Nova?
No. No, it's been Brass for a long time. Don't make me doubt myself.
You're right. Overall, one strategy one. Yeah, you're right. It's this one. Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
so easily swayed. I am a weak person.
You are.
I'm going to play Glory.
So let's go to the glorious number ones.
Is it isn't it obvious what my number one is? It's
Does it start with an A or
yeah,
start
no,
with an L and there's
yeah,
another A?
yeah. I
Really?
mean, yes. This is my number one of all time, my number one best board. I get goosebumps just by thinking about it. This is world building at its best. And it's a cooperative game,
Oh
one
yeah.
all against the board. It tells an epic fantasy story that all of us can enjoy, win or lose. It creates memorable moments.
This game needs a Kickstarter with minis.
No, no, wait. Ah,
It does need
what's
a
wrong with you?
Kickstarter with
With your
minis.
your minis? Are
It
you
does need Kickstarter. It
you're
will bring
turning
the
into an
world far
no,
more alive
I
if you
know
do
what's
that.
happening. You're turning into a Mary Trasher.
No,
For sure.
but I do think that if,
No.
for example, I could use I would use some minis that I have from this Descent for a game like this.
I will I will
Oh,
I will cancel my
some
subscription
painted
to this channel.
minis.
I will don't you dare. This is my altar piece. This is why I'm in gaming. This is why I love illustration. This is everything condensed. This is nostalgia at its height, at its peak.
It's a story in front of you. You play a story,
And
it enters into
this
a
is
world. It is.
just part of the story. It's gotten so big, and it has not reached, in my opinion, the level of bloat that we generally talk about when we have big boxes with. But it just packs stories. Like, where do we want to explore next? So they've added, islands, they've added snow, they've added desert. There's a new big box coming in the, it's been announced, and we have seen pictures. So I'm practically in love with this game, and it's unhealthy.
This is one of the few cooperative games that I own and that I have played with good results. I do not like usually cooperative games. Why do I like this one? This is mainly again an efficiency puzzle that is not about killing monsters. It's about, oh, if I'm going to fight all of these monsters, the end of the game might come too soon, and I'm not going to be able to do my quests or the things that I need to find.
You're not going swinging all the time.
Exactly.
You
You have
need
to think a bit of what
about
to
your
do. Yeah.
movement. Yes. So it's smart as well
Yeah.
as good
Highly
looking.
agree.
So it has everything, and I can't praise this enough.
Okay. My number one is our first and only overlap on this list. Can you guess it?
Is it? I would want to say Pillars. No, you've already had a lot of Menzels on your pad, but the only one is Lorenzo. That I don't know. I don't know.
Septima, my friend.
No. Oh man, I don't know you enough. I'm sorry, but Septima, you're number one.
I have really enjoyed this game when we've played it, and the main reason why I have enjoyed this game is because of its board. And as you said, this game has something hypnotic, starting from the cover itself, going
Yeah.
inside the box. This is a well thought out production and a well thought out board.
Yeah.
Mechanically, I have some issues with it.
Yeah.
but the game Wooz's theme. I think it should be one round shorter. Then you can start to build up and yeah, create the whole arc of the story. It becomes a bit too long for what it is and what you do in the game. I have
Right.
this issue, but it's so beautiful to have it in front of you, and it takes you into the story that it wants to tell, of the witches, um, of the magical world that puts in front of you. Uh, Again, it could have looked really simple. As far as I know, this was a passion project for Ville Farkas, who did the artwork for this game, and you can see it, you can feel it. You have the empathy, if you, yeah. Um, it is the level of details, the um, again, it has its roots in the Hungarian
Folklore.
stories. What are they called? Legends.
Mm.
And it's so well done. It's on. What can I say? It it was my. I have a lot of boards that I thought about, but this one, it's just hypnotic. It keeps you there.
Yeah. It's bridging. It creates certain feelings, right? It does not leave you uninterested.
Yeah,
It's hard
and
to put to words what this
choose
game
that
does.
color, that purple. It's not blue, it's purple.
Yeah.
It's again, look of this is it has a lot of purples built into it. It's a smartly done. It shows that it is someone who understands color,
Mm.
who understands what they are doing. So
Well,
hopefully I'll be able to do an interview with her as an artist. I would love to do that. Um, yeah, this is my number one. So this was our only overlap for this. I knew you're gonna put pillars. I knew. I was unsure of Legends of Andor because, but yeah.
I had to. I just had to.
Um.
There's, well, yeah.
Oh, what did I do? Oh, sorry.
I actually started my list with Andor and went down from there. I could have done top 10 boards that Mike Manzo has done
Oh yeah,
for sure.
that's easily it's easily
I
done.
mean, there's no one that even gets close to having that a successful streak of continuous board after board after
And there
board.
are some boards of for certain games from 2009 or 6, 5, 4, 6, 8 of some games you might not have heard of, which are stunning, beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can agree with you, but it's not only about that. I wanted more, so there were. I think there, yeah, it's different. Let's say different stories from different artists,
Yeah.
and yeah, I kind of have enjoyed doing this list. I don't know about you. I'll have a few, if you want, honorable mentions.
Hmm.
One is one from my favorite one of my favorite artists, which is Denis Lohausen,
Oh,
and this Crown of Emara. I really like the artwork on those two boards.
yeah.
Hey Stoyan, it's a long time no heard, no see. Um, Crown of Omara, and from you pick Lorenzo from
Yeah, France.
from Clemens France. I pick Luna. I think
Yeah.
Luna is one of his. I think is his best illustration, and um, he's one of the most different illustrations of his.
Yeah. Although underrated, I would say.
Yeah, very very underrated. Correct. Crown of Emma, and I do have a few more that I would have spoken about, but from your friend for the one Vincent Dutré, I really enjoy New York 1901.
Hmm.
Which I think he managed to make Paliomino look good.
Yeah.
Uh,
I would like to jump in to say that you realize that there's no game from Vincent Dutray on my list, and that's I have a good reason for it. I think he's an excellent illustrator of characters. I don't think he as a he's not really seen as a board game art as a that creates boards, right? He creates components and the storytelling that comes on the board rather than what's the beauty of it, right? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So
I can understand. Yeah.
I I had this an honorable mention of Old Trey. I don't know if you know. Do you know the game?
Yes,
It's
I know
another
Ultra. Yes.
cooperative.
Yes.
But it's again, it shows you the landscape, puts you in the setting, but everything else just needs other components for it to come alive. So, and like you said, and pretty image is not enough to have to uh
Yeah. Yeah.
you
To
know
just have a
to
good
keep the
board.
game alive, yeah.
Yeah.
So you need to have the cards, you need to have the components, the player pieces and all that, and then yeah, you have a complete. But I think, well, yeah, that's why I do not put Tray on a specifically on boards.
Yeah. Uh, I can say that. Yeah. I have a few
Check
more.
stojnicy.
Yeah. He said he talks about escape
Mm,
plan.
not sure.
I don't think. I don't think.
Maybe you
What's
like going to the hospital. I don't know.
Yonotul? I don't think Yonotul was the best one for that game. I think it's great for Company V and great for on Mars, and but I think for on it could have been something a bit more playful than that. It's hospital playful. Um, it's not bad, but yeah. So I had Federation here, which I think is a great board for what it is. So many Rococo, the original. I really enjoy Magna Storm. I don't know if you have ever played Magna Storm, which I think it has a very pretty board. It's a very big, pretty board, and you have place some turtles on the board, and you mine for the world, and I think it's an interesting one. Um,
Hmm.
Antiquity is a different type of interesting. I would say I think it's the best splotter. It's quite I think it's better than also. I think it's the best one. I had a few more, but
Wow.
yeah, some Robinson Crusoe. I think it's an interesting map. It's an interesting main board because you need to have the world there. You need have a lot of things for the cards for as a board as how you have to build a board. I find it an interesting proposition.
Yeah.
I could have picked for different reasons. What do you have as honorable mentions? You have one or two
I
titles?
don't have a lot of I don't have any, so I just put
Oh,
Dutray as his own standalone motivation. But like I said, I really struggle to find the definitive 10. that I would be behind 100%. And yeah, it's
Because I have, I mean, in my opinion, A Castle for Seasons is so beautiful. A Column of Fire is, I mean, that is one heck of a beautiful board. Um, I couldn't have put Terramara there because I think he manages to create out of a very cold game a very,
like I said,
yeah.
top 10
You cannot
Menzel band
we
boards.
cannot put Menzel everywhere.
Yeah.
We have yeah, you could put that, but um I think we chose different reasons, and I do hope people who watches will find this interesting
Yeah.
and look up at boards from different perspective, not just pretty.
Yeah. I think we have a pretty wide spectrum of selections from abstract all the way to uh, uh, oversaturated. So
Oversaturated, yeah. So this was our top 10 of game
it was,
boards. I hope you had fun. I think we geeked it out. We love talking about artwork, so I think
we
we took
do.
our time. We took it very slowly, and we took our time with this one. So I'll see you.
It's a topic that we do talk quite a lot about.
Yeah.
So
I'll see you on the next playthrough, uh,
yeah,
which is will be next week. And we tomorrow night we're gonna do a Great Western Trail El Paso. Hopefully, we're gonna have a lot of fun with El Paso. My friend, thank you a lot for doing this top 10 with me. And
yeah. This was probably a highly. It was very pleasurable to do the research to find myself again, knowing why I love board games and what they can offer me, and we are spreading that joy with the masses. So
oh, thank you, Stanitz. I hope to see you at the festival.
yeah,
You have to come at the festival. It's going to be really cool this year. So I will close this. Thank you, Radu, for doing this. And as always, I want to thank anyone who came and watched live. I will thank anyone who will come and watch after the fact. If you like what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, smash that subscribe button. As we have to give him a name, as Mr. Monkey says. We need more subscribers. No story needs to know. Correct. No story needs to know party. Exactly. You have to come to the festival to partay. And thank you, Radu, for helping me do this. If you enjoy these types of lists, write in comments. We can do more top tens, and we're trying to do now that Radu has a more predictable schedule. And yeah, add maybe one or more guests from time to time. We try to, and hopefully we'll be able to do it. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for coming to see us. And if you like it, like, comment, subscribe, come back, talk to us, write comments, and so on. Until next time, which will be tomorrow for El Paso. What it says there: play a lot, play loads, as you Brits say. Have fun, and bye bye, fine folks, wherever in the world you are.